When I enrolled in college, I knew that I wanted a career in the criminal justice system. From early on, I sensed that something needed to be changed in the system. In the year 2015, there were 1,307 unarmed Americans killed by police officers. It's not guns that are killing these unarmed Americans, it's the police officers that lack the basic requirements to protect and serve our community. So I'm going to talk about the 3 basic requirements I think should be changed when becoming a police officer. The first requirement that I'm going to talk about is age. To join the police academy, you must be 18 years or older. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, an adolescent's brain is still in transitioning and is not fully developed until their mid-20s. With that being said, a 21-year-old fresh out of the academy is not mentally prepared to serve and protect their community, let alone make a decision in a split second that can result in someone else's life. The second requirement that I'm going to talk about is education. According to Pauline, the President's Commission on Higher Education for Police Officers established the Law Enforcement Education Program in the late 1960s. The program was to provide financial assistance for officers to receive a college education. Sadly, the program was unsuccessful. Because the program was unsuccessful, only 9% of agencies require a 2-year college education, 6% require some education, and only 1% of those agencies require a 4-year education. The third requirement that I'm going to talk about is training. In the police academy, you're required to complete 12 to 14 weeks of training, as well as pass a written and fitness test. Although each academy has the same training requirements, the level of difficulty varies in each city, state, or region. That being said, we should have the equal amount of difficulty no matter whether the crime rate is low or high in any city, state, or region. An example of the lack of training would be the Michael Brown incident. Although Michael Brown was committing a crime, the officer involved, Darren Wilson, only had 5 years on the force. Many people saw this crime as a racial hate crime incident. I see it as a police officer that still didn't have sufficient experience to carry out that crime. And if he did have enough experience, then the crime would have ended up something completely different than it actually was. Along with the key points I have discussed, there are clearly complications in the basic requirements of becoming a police officer. If we were to increase the age limit, then we would have more mentally prepared potential officers to protect and serve our communities. Second would be education. If we made education a requirement, then we'd have more educated officers with a history of knowing the crimes that have happened, as well as being able to communicate one-on-one with a person that has either been involved in a crime or been affected by a crime. And lastly would be training. If we had training during the academy and after the academy, then we would have more police officers that would be well able and hands-on on solving a crime or even going to a crime, as well as even teaching fellow officers the training that maybe they lack or they don't know. Although some of you guys may think that I hate cops or I'm being biased towards cops, that's not what this speech is about. This speech is about me being a concerned citizen, giving you guys the information that I think of the 3 most basic requirements that a cop should have and we should have equal across the whole United States. If any of you guys have questions on where I got my information or any of the articles that I have mentioned in here, go ahead and comment on the discussion and I'll make sure to put the link below.